You're listening to the Get Out and Drive podcast with John, Custom Car Nerd Meyer, and Jason, Old Car Guy Carr. We'll be bringing you gearheads everything you never wanted to know about cars and why they should be on the road and not in your garage. Are you ready to get out and drive? Get those cars on the road October 2nd, 2022 to celebrate National Get Out and Drive Day. Visit nationalgetoutanddriveday.com for more info.
Get Out and Drive podcast live at SEMA 2021 with these clowns.
Let me know when we're going live. I don't want to do this, but
it's live. It's now. It's live.
Hey, we're coming to you
seriously.
from SEMA 2021 here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Cleveland Power and Performance. See this here?
Cleveland Power and Performance.
There, yeah, that's them guys there. I know you guys have seen him in a Hellcat that has no roof. I know it.
If you haven't, then I don't know what dark corners
lived.
of the internet you've been exploring.
Yeah, you never lived.
There's beautiful, delicious videos that we do that you could have been watching, and like
yes.
John said, I hope you've seen them.
Oh, yes. So you brought this sweet Bronco.
1979, kind of 2014 modulation
nice.
Of a Bronco. So Adam and a lot of the other guys in the shop did a ton of work to make this what it is.
To blend it together, and I can say, even the new mirrors added on, things like that,
yes.
It doesn't have a hokey look.
Well, thank you.
I think the addition of the large letters in the front, the headlights, the bumper tuck, all the mirrors, everything has brought cues from the new vehicle.
Right. Because it has a lot of the lines. We tightened up a ton of the lines from the 79 Bronco.
Right.
We wanted to make them nice and crisp because in 1979 they were not. Everything's loose.
Utility vehicle that was barely put together.
It's a farm truck.
Yeah.
So we did all that, but we wanted to make it, they didn't want it to just look on the exterior like a 79 Bronco, and that's it. So hence the lettering in the grille and the mirrors, which are from
a 2020 Silverado.
They're Chevy mirrors on the
Chevy
Ford
mirrors
truck.
on a Ford.
Yeah. And one other interesting part is those calipers right there.
Yep.
Those are from a Hellcat. So we do have some Dodge influence here. We have some Chevy influence, and obviously it's a Ford.
Yeah. I see. Wow. Well, how much of this is new truck? How much of this is old truck, if you want to tell me?
All right. So firewall, floorboard, at least the front section underneath the seats is 14 F-150.
Okay.
In the back, it's still Bronco, and it was blended together in between.
Okay.
As far as frame goes, the first about 5 feet of the frame where the front suspension, motor mount, all of that stuff is 14 F-150.
Okay.
We built a couple feet in front and 12 feet behind with a custom 4-link with the Panhard bar.
Okay.
We run Beltex shocks, springs, and we have a Beltec lift kit in the front for the 14 F-150.
It is like a work of art underneath it. Like Adam's saying, he did a ton of work on this custom chassis that he made. It's totally beautiful. We have a ton of pictures on our website. John's been watching it. If you guys want to see them, we'll figure out how to get you to those pictures. There's the exhaust, the way the exhaust is ran, the way that the drive shaft loop has been made, the way that everything underneath there, the fuel tank design, it's beautiful. It's like super aesthetically pleasing underneath it, and Adam had a lot to do with that, and so did the other guys in the shop. Not just the paint and body. That's not like, there's so many focal points on the truck, and a lot of it is underneath. But, but underneath the truck is kind of its own entity, but outside is a 79, and then inside is back to that 14 F-150.
One of my favorite views of this truck was before the body went on.
Okay.
When it was just the rolling frame, the motor, trans, suspension, just everything there, like in your face, and just to see all the craftsmanship that went into that, and all the ideas that you came up with and got to explore and got to really build on. I think that's like, I love the finished truck, but that's one of the memories of the truck,
I see it
of the truck.
Right, and I can see that, and I saw that when I was watching the build on Instagram and seeing how things were going. I like how the truck looks like a factory prototype-ish
of what they would make nowadays.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Big Bronco.
Right, or for a big Bronco.
Right.
And it has the old cues on it, but it has new parts.
Right.
And they're blended and put on the truck very well. It doesn't look like it's cut and paste.
Yeah, no.
And you guys did a fantastic job
thank
with
you.
it.
Well, you want to?
We'll walk around and look at the interior.
Let's take a look. the seats, the front seats, it's kind of complicated. The front seats are out of the 14 F-150. The rear seat is actually out of a Challenger, and some of the other stuff was custom made. But all of it is upholstered in-house, super high quality leather. You could smell it. It smells like a brand new car.
Right.
Like in the dealership.
Yep. And I see the work with the new latches.
Yeah.
And how everything is soft close.
Yep.
And all these are new latches, and that's integrated into the old skin.
Yep.
Yeah. Or the shell, and I should say. Yeah.
Right. So as many of the new amenities of a new truck to make it comfortable, like you said, that soft close stuff, try to incorporate as much of that as possible. The rear bumper, it has the backup sensors fit into it, backup camera. But
does this have a top, or are you planning on?
No, it has a top. It's back at the shop. We wanted to kind of showcase the interior.
Oh, I can definitely see that.
And not have to worry about lifting the top off, setting it somewhere or whatever.
It's a heavy piece.
It is big, but it is the same color as the
roll
truck.
bar is bolted to the frame. Is how it's attached.
It's welded to the body, and then we have rocker tie-ins.
Okay.
So not only do we have solid aluminum body mounts, but we have rocker tie-ins that tie into the 6 locations where the roll cage attaches to the body.
Wow. It looks fantastic. Hopefully we can get some pictures of the interior and look at the dash.
Come on, check it out.
The dash is from the 14 as well.
Oh yeah. So the dash, if you look in it, it's like getting in the cockpit of a 2014 or whatever F-150.
Right.
And since we use the body harness and underhood harness and all that from this truck, it all still works. The nav works, the cluster works, all your information in the cluster works.
Okay.
Now this driveline here and interior started off life in a Tonka truck, 2014 Tonka edition F-150.
Okay.
So that one came, when we bought it, it already had a Roush supercharged 5-liter.
Okay.
And a 6-speed automatic transmission.
So it was a fairly rare donor to begin with.
It was a pretty rare donor, and when we posted up for that, we got it in. People wanted to buy it because they wanted to just straight up buy the truck.
Right.
And we're like, we're using it as a donor. It has the driveline. We're like, we know we could trust that Roush did their job when they put the blower on. Or whatever.
For the upgrades and everything. And that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So it was a pretty unique truck to start off with, but we were able to. Yeah, since we did, it's not really a body swap, but it's a graft.
It's a graft.
We took the cowl and the floor pan in there. We were able to lay out all the harness, and if you've seen, John, that there's all these like intricate channels in the floor.
Yes.
That all the harness is routed and tucked in. It's almost like even under the carpet's a work of art.
You don't want to, when you're stepping in the back and you guys sit in the back,
you don't want to
feel those wires.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's like it's pretty cool how it's all routed.
Stacked foam and putting channels in and all that stuff, and that's
still
incredible.
accessible for.
Still for servicing, right? And you can see here the new style door panel, or the new style latches integrated into the old door shell.
Same with the handle, the touchpad.
Yes.
These are custom billet aluminum switch control plates that blend into the factory arm grab.
Yeah, that
pockets.
Adam made.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, just a lot of little cool stuff like that unfortunately I don't have the skills to do, but we have people that do have the skill set to take a piece of metal that is nothing but a piece of metal and make it functional and something that fits. And it's just wild. And there's so much of that happening on this truck, and it does take a minute. A lot of today where people are walking around and it takes them maybe 2-3 different angles to realize well, what year is this?
Correct,
truck
because
really?
The blending of the years of the truck and the different style and technology you guys have done an incredible job.
Well, thank you.
Because I see that you have to have that structure in the firewall to hold that, to accept that steering wheel and to make it useful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
And this is still connected, solid. It's not fly by wire or steer by wire.
No,
it's electronic steering rack.
It's electronic steering rack.
So
like
the firewall and floor pan bolts to the factory body mounts.
I see. Okay.
So the front frame and everything in here is in the exact same location to each other as it would be in an F-150.
I see. So all the relationships are the same.
Yeah, factory steering shaft.
Yep.
Factory everything underneath.
And that's the motor it's kind of tucked in, and you'll see under the hood it's kind of tucked in, back and low, but that's where it needed to sit for us to use.
The car kind of tells you generally where parts need to go.
Yeah, right.
And if it's angry, you just kind of modify it a little bit.
Yeah, if you can, right.
Yeah, right. Because there's some things that you can change the fit, some things you can't.
Like we did have to modify the dash a little bit to get in there, but overall it's a painted and prettied up and upholstered version of
a stock comparing dash.
Stock dash.
But not majorly crafted. It's very minimal to install it in there.
Right. That's the whole point.
In the whole scheme of things.
And same with the door. The door panels are more complicated than probably anything in the interior, just because the doors are so different. And I think, what'd you say, Adam? 120 cuts on each door panel?
Yeah, just
it's ridiculous.
It's cut section.
Plastic weld.
Yes,
to figure
plastic
out
weld, and then it warps, and then you got to cut some more, and you got to move
that's
some
a lot
more,
of work.
heat it up. The door panels were definitely a big learning curve.
Yeah, but they fit and they're on and they work and they match the interior.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Go ahead and give that a shot. Show it's just like a new car.
Yep.
You can see the power step.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
And I see your perfect street rod style door gaps.
So a lot of body work.
A lot of body work, things like that. And I remember there was a problem with this structure, and it wasn't fitting together correctly or something.
So this area here, fit the camper top.
I remember that, and it had a different sweep.
So we had cut and stretched that out 3/4 of an inch on the bottom. And while we did that, gave us the opportunity to put that the push buttons in there. I removed that panel, had it off when I changed its shape. And that gave me complete access to make that happen.
Cool.
Which has probably been the highlight of the car here, or the truck here at SEMA, because that's just something you equate with Ford trucks or whatever.
Oh, very much so.
So I think that's the telltale that it's like a somewhat newer driveline and interior.
And the fact that this opens the vehicle and it's not just stuck on there.
Right.
It operates and it actually works.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool. Well, take us to the drivetrain.
It's all painted. It's prettied up. It is, like I said, it's a Coyote with the Roush put the kit on. After whoever ordered that truck originally put it on. We obviously had everything torn down and freshened up, and because we painted the motor, we painted the trans, we painted the transfer case.
We modeled the hood after the Tonka edition hood.
Okay, I see it.
So
and that's sheet metal.
Yes.
Made. Okay.
Yes, it's all sheet metal.
Real sharp lines on that did take the guys doing the body work.
Forever.
Fair amount of time to make sure that everything was completely symmetrical.
Yes.
Because you need to.
It
has to be
It's easy to build one. It's hard to build two.
That's the thing. And if it's 1/4 of an eighth of an inch off, you may not
Whatever
know,
that
but it has
is.
to be. It's small. It's minute.
It is.
It's like it's so small.
It's like a buck 280.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the scoops up top feed the air through this kit that Adam
and changing
made.
the structure and everything inside to accept that.
Yeah, because we got rid of all the bracing. There's no more bracing in there.
And that's something that in looking at this, I personally wouldn't know how much work that he did on this.
Sure.
It is insane. But now that it's done and it's like painted and pretty.
And it's black and it's not jazzy.
Right. It looks factory-ish. Right.
That's what I talked about. It looking like a factory prototype-ish type of truck. Talk to us about the grill. Is that aluminum?
Yes, it's all aluminum. This has actually been my project kind of for the last few months in between doing body work and things. So when I designed this, I just started trying to brainstorm different ideas, and I would just look at pictures of the new Bronco, an old Bronco, different years of Bronco, different years of Fords, and how could I combine so many things together?
Okay.
So I kept the rectangle, boxy look of the original 79 Bronco grill. It was 4 high, 6 wide. But then I looked at like some of the new grills for the newer Broncos, and I kind of got some inspiration because they said Bronco, independent letters down the middle, and they had 7 slots by 2 high on top and on bottom.
Okay.
And then like the Bronco 2 also had a 7 slot. And the 7 slot's pretty iconic with Wranglers and Hummer and a lot of other brands. So it kind of drew me to the 7 slots. And then I went to the letters. So Ford has these awesomely shaped letters.
I see they're very faceted.
They're very bold.
It's aggressive. It's cool.
And one of the things the 79 Bronco had was Ford independently mounted across the front of the hood.
Okay.
So I took out, like, if you look at a newer F-150, the Ford's kind of a crossbar.
Okay.
They're not independently standing.
It's all is it all one piece? The lettering's
it's kind of like just all one piece, and then kind of built out from that. So I wanted to take those independently stood letters and make them the new bold Ford.
Oh yeah.
So
and that's what makes, to me, it makes it look very new appearing.
Yeah,
this is the biggest part of the truck
that I think it's a giveaway type of thing. Like there's something going on with that's not
something
just a
going on with
78,
that
79 Bronco.
Correct, and that's fantastic.
We did do some. We sharpened up a lot of lines in the grill surround.
Okay.
To help meet up with like the sharp lines in the rest of the truck.
Yeah.
But there's really not too much going on here. We did have to channel the bottom of the grill insert so we could suck the bumper back a little bit. And we narrowed the bumper up a little bit in width.
Okay.
But there's really not too much change really up here.
Right, but this is just a modified tin grill to accept the new parts. The minimalist attitude of the car is phenomenal.
Well, you appreciate it. You noticed it, and you know that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it does take a certain. It does, like, because not everything can be flashy. Not everything can scream.
Sure.
Some stuff needs to have like subtle flash, right?
Yes.
Like this little accent right here, and the aggressive nature of the lettering, but it's not too much. And,
no. It's not garish at all.
Yeah.
It is just well built.
And that's what we were going for. So for you to mention that before, we didn't talk about this.
Sure.
Internet, live internet, all you people out there thinking we had preconceived talks about this. No, he just noticed it, and that's what we were going for, and that's awesome. That's the whole point of doing this.
And I've talked to my viewers about this, and listeners. The best
both viewers and listeners
viewers
right
today,
yes.
The best modifications are the ones you can't notice.
So this is very true, and one of the other guys at the shop, Andy, shout out Andy Witt, who had a lot to do with this truck, and Jim and Kevin and Pete and all the other people that had a ton to do with this truck. He would always say his biggest compliment when we would take a car like this out to the show, when it would be one of the LX cars we'd do a manual trans swap on, or the Reverence Charger, or this, is people thinking certain like stuff that was totally fabricated was factory.
Yes.
It looked, the quality and the fit was so good that they just assumed that they made them like this way.
They just walked right past it.
And he said that was his highest compliment, is people thinking his work was that quality.
Yes.
That they thought it was assembly line, factory, and stuff. So
you don't realize, as an average Joe, you don't realize what it took to build this grill that you see sits in here, and it looks like it grew there.
But all these guys that had, their dad had a 78, or they had one back, or 79 Bronco that they had back in the day, those are the guys who are like, what's going on here? Tell me as much as you can on it. You know?
Yeah, they notice the subtle details, and it's just ridiculously on point. Great job.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great job, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for taking some time to walk around the car, man.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Cool.
Internet, thank you for taking the time to listen to us talk. We love you. I don't care if you're in Sweden, Switzerland, or Norway, or even the United States of America. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us talk about this Bronco. Built by Cleveland Power Performance.
Right.
And brought to you by Get Out and Drive podcast.
Yes, the perfect vehicle to get out and drive.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Let's go. Get the keys. Find the keys.
Racing Junk is the #1 racing and performance marketplace where you can post your racing junk for free.
Parts, engines, race cars, trailers, project builds, muscle cars, chassis, tires, and so much more.
Buy, sell, trade, and browse on Racing Junk and turn your garage into cash in your pocket. Or find that next dream on the site, built by gearheads for gearheads.
And best of all, there's no transaction fees. 100% of what you make through your ad is yours to keep.
Speed over to our friends at racingjunk.com and sign up for a Pro Club membership. Use the code GETOUT to receive a discount when you sign up for a Pro Club membership. Cruise on over to our website, getoutanddrive.com, for all the info you never wanted to know about our podcast. Hit us up on our listener hotline, be the first to know what's happening, get industry news, and grab your Get Out and Drive merch. Connect with us on social media. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow us on Twitter at Get Out and Drive Pod.
What drives you?